who want to lord it over material nature. The ruler of this planet should therefore know that all the inhabitants, especially human beings, have come to this material world for sense enjoyment. It is therefore the duty of the ruler to satisfy them in their sense enjoyment, as well as to elevate them to Krishna consciousness, so that they all can ultimately return home back to Godhead. So it's not that everybody has to be a Babaji or something. We have to take care of, physical and mental and all those different needs of the people. But not only that, there are countries in the world that do quite well at, making sure that it's safe, like Dubai, for instance, and everybody has a job and they don't have to pay income tax, and everything works perfectly. There's no homeless people. They have a minister of happiness. They're constantly brainstorming how to provide material happiness for everybody. And of course, they're also trying to provide spiritual. In the Muslim, they have very strict laws against extremist Muslim and fanatical things, but they have mosques everywhere, so nobody has to travel very far to find a mosque, a place to pray, So there are some governments, that are not so bad in that. But we have to remember that in our management. We have to take care of the devotees' material needs. But they can't be the devotees can't just become freeloaders, that they're just thinking you have to take care of me just because I'm a devotee. Krishna rewards us as we give him. If we work for Krishna, he works for us. And if we don't work for him, he doesn't work for us. He gives us what we deserve. Okay? There's a little more. With this idea in mind, the king or government should rule the world. In this way, everyone will be satisfied. How can this be accomplished? There are many examples like Prithu Maharaj in the history of his regency and his planet is elaborately described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even in this fallen age, if the rulers, governors, and presidents take advantage of Prithu Maharaj's example, there will certainly be a reign of peace and prosperity throughout the world. Okay, any other comment? Okay, who can read next?
Thank you, Maharaj. I will read.
Alika, welcome. Haven't seen you for a while. Were you traveling or what?
Salika, are you there?
Pictures, huh? Big smiling picture.
Yes, good Maharaj.
Very nice
So
teeth. Perfect tilak. Yeah. Good karma. Having good teeth.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Rajetia dan manamadeyam Soma Jaiva Paraha Suyava Vishrijangrenan Pratapan Chabuvo Vasu. Maharaj Prito became a celebrated a king as Soma Raja, the king of the moon. He was also powerful and exacting, just like the sun god, who distributes heat and light, and at the same time exacts all the planetary waters. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, Mahaprabhu is compared to the kings of the moon and sun. The king of the moon and the king of the sun serve as example of how the Lord desires the universe to be ruled. The sun distributes heat and light, at the same time extract water from the all planets. The moon is very pleasing at night, and when one becomes fatigued after a day's labor in the sun, he can enjoy the moonshine. Like the sun god, Prithu Maharaj distributes his heat and light to give protection to his kingdom. But without heat and light, no one can exist. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj is stasis and gives such strong orders to the citizen and government that no one had the power to disobey him. On the other hand, he pleased everyone just like the moonshine. Both the sun and the moon have particular influences by which they maintain order in the universe. And modern scientists and philosophers will become familiar with the Supreme Lord's perfect plan for universal maintenance. Hare Krishna.
That's very clear. We know how it works. It's, the, the sun is very hot, but water evaporates from any place, even from very dirty places. What evaporates is clean water, the dirt left behind. Then it forms clouds, it travels, and then somehow the sun makes the clouds dump the rain out, and everyone gets fresh water. The lakes get filled up again, and the rivers, and it just goes on and on. And the ocean has salty water, so it doesn't get bad. Very amazing arrangement. Recently, they had this Grok AI computer, supposed to be the most powerful AI, calculate the odds against evolution. It was a much bigger number than anyone ever came up with before. How impossible it would be for any of these things to just happen by chance from out of nothingness. Still, the demons say there's no God in control. Everything is just a product of lust. There's no creator. But they take credit if they invent something or they build a power-out machine. They take full credit for it. We did it. We are great. But they won't admit that the whole universe, they say, just happened by chance. If a scientist invents a computer or whatever is considered a great invention now, and you say, well, that's just happened by chance. I know you were just in your factory and you dropped a bunch of stuff on the ground and and got smashed by a bulldozer, and then all of a sudden you had a million iPhones. Everybody would laugh at it. But they say the universe happened like that, and everybody says, okay, sure. But one cell of your body is more complicated than all the iPhones and computers in the universe. And we have trillions of cells all cooperating together under the direction of you. Okay, next.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Yes, Jyotishar Babu, please, you want to read again?
Madhvan can read.
Jyotishar Babu, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And after that, Madhuban Prabhu, please, you
Translation
can get ready.
57. Maharaj Prithu was so strong and powerful that no one could disobey his order, any more than one could conquer fire itself. He was so strong that he was compared to Indra, the king of heaven. Power is insuperable. On the other hand, Maharaj Prithu was also tolerant as the earth, and in fulfilling various desires of human society, he was like heaven itself. Purport: it is the duty of king to give protection to the city and to fulfill. At the same time, the citizens must obey the law of state. Maharaj Prithu maintained all standards of good government, and he was so invincible that no one could disobey his order any more than a person could stop heat and light emanating fire. He was so strong and powerful that he was compared to the king of heaven, Indra. At this age, on which modern scientists have been experimenting the nuclear weapon, and in former age they used to release the Brahmastra. But all these Brahmastra and nuclear weapons are insignificant compared to the thunderbolt of the King of Heaven. When Indra released the thunderbolt, even the best hill and mountain cracks. On the other hand, Maharaj Prithu was as tolerant as the earth itself, and he fulfilled all the desire of his season, just like the torrent of the rain from the sky. Without rainfall, it is not possible to fulfill one's various desire on this planet. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 3.14, Parjanyad Anna Sambhava. Rains are produced only because rain fall from the sky, and without grains, no one on the earth can be satisfied. Consequently, an unlimited distribution of mercy is compared to the water falling from the clouds. Maharaj Prithu described his mercy incessantly fall. In other words, Maharaj Prithu was softened than a rose flower and hardened than the thunderbolt. In this way, the rule over his kingdom. He ruled over his kingdom. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Want to say something? Want to say something? Maharaj, want to say something?
Comment, Prabhuji.
Okay, go on. Whatever Prabhu, please, you can read the next.
Okay. That's text 58. Prasatisma yata kamam kaljanya iva vitalpayan samudra iva labudaha sadvina chalarat iva. Translation. Just as rainfall satisfies everyone's desires, Mahaprabhu used to satisfy everyone. It was like the sea in that no one could understand its depths. And it was like Meru, the king of hills, in the fixity of his purpose. Mahaprabhu used to distribute his mercy to suffering humanity, and it was like rainfall after excessive heat. The ocean is wide and expansive, and it's very difficult to measure its length and breadth. Similarly, Prithu Maharaj was so deep and great that no one could fathom his purposes. The hill known as Meru is fixed in the universe as a universal pivot, and no one can move it an inch from its position. Similarly, no one could ever dissuade Maharaj Prithu when he was determined. Hare Krishna.
Want to say something? Prabhu?
Okay. My comments. The way I see Mahaprabhu, how he ruled over his empire, is very good. But I'm just thinking how this could be applicable in this age of Kali Yoga, because sometimes when they have good leaders, they don't know, they don't appreciate. To say the person is too strict, especially in terms of collecting taxes. In Nigeria now, everybody is complaining that Tinubu is trying to tax everything. Anyway, their complaint can be genuine in the sense that some of these are leaders also, they are corrupt. They don't usually use this, they don't judiciously use this money for the purpose of the generality of the populace. So, but I believe in this age of Kali, not everybody, people will still complain about Mahaprabhu's reign, even though he was providing everything. But in the area of being very strict, collecting tax, and in Kali Yuga now, majority of people are like miscreants. So they are not going to like it because it's not going to allow corruption and some other illicit activities. That's just my comment. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Maharaj, you want to say something?
Just as rainfall satisfies everyone's desires, Maharaj Prithu used to satisfy everyone. He was like the sea that no one could understand its depth. And he was like Meru. I think we read that one. 59. Dharma
79.
Raj Iva Sikshayam Ascharya Himavan Iva Kuvera Iva Koshadyo Guptarto Varuno Yata. Maharaj Prithu's intelligence and education was exactly like that of Yamaraj, the superintendent of death. His opulence was comparable to the Himalaya mountains, where all valuable jewels and metals were stocked. He possessed great riches like Kuvera, the treasure of the heavenly planets. And no one could reveal his secrets, for they were like the demigod Varuna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yamaraj or Dharmaraj, as the superintendent of death, has to judge the criminal living entities who have committed sinful activities throughout their lives. Consequently, Yamaraj is expected to be most expert in judicial matters. Prithu Maharaj was also highly learned and exceedingly exact in delivering his judgment upon the citizens. No one could excel him in opulence any more than estimate the stock of minerals and jewels in the Himalaya mountains. Therefore, he's compared to Kuvera, the treasure of the demigods. Nor could anyone discover the secrets of his life any more than learn the secrets of Varuna, the demigod presiding over the water, the night, and the western sky. Varuna is omniscient, and since he punishes sins, he's prayed to for forgiveness. He's also the sender of disease and often associated with Mitra and Indra. He has many duties. Any comment?
Any comment? In the absence of no comment, then Tamakrisha Baba, you want to read again?
Hare Krishna. Verse 60. In his bodily strength and in his strength of his senses, Mahaprabhu was as strong as the wind, which can go anywhere and everywhere. As far as his intolerance was concerned, he was just like the all-powerful Rudra expansion of Lord Shiva or Sada Shiva. Hare Krishna. There's no purport. Yes.
Yeah, continue on to about 62.
Okay. In his bodily beauty, he was just like Kopi. And he's thoughtful, he was like a lion. In his affection, he was just like Swayambhuvamanu. And his ability to control control, he was like Lord Brahman. 62. In this personal behavior, Prithu Maharaj exhibited all good qualities. And in his spiritual knowledge, he was exactly like Brihaspati. In self-control, he was like the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. As far as his devotional service was concerned, he was a great follower of devotees who were attached to cow protection and the rendering of all service to the spiritual master and the Brahmanes. He was perfect in his shyness and in his gentle behavior. And when he engaged in some philanthropic activities, he worked as if he were working for his own personal self. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Lord Chaitanya tossed to Swayambhuvamanu, when Lord Chaitanya tossed to Savabhuma Bhattacharya, the Lord honored him as the incarnation of Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the chief priest of the heavenly kingdom, and he is a follower of the philosophy known as Brahma Veda or Mayavada. Brihaspati is also a great logician. It appears from this statement that Maharaj Prithu, although a great devotee, constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord, could defeat all kinds of impersonalists and Mayavadis by his profound knowledge of Vedic scriptures. We should learn from Maharaj Prithu that a Vaishnava or devotee must not only be fixed in the service of the Lord, but, if required, must be prepared to argue with the impersonalist Mayavadis with all logic and philosophy and defeat their contention that the absolute truth is impersonal. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ideal self-controller or brahmacharya. When Krishna was elected to be president of the Rajasuya Yajna performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, grandfather Bhismadev praised Lord Krishna as the greatest brahmachari because grandfather Bhismadev was a brahmachari. He was quite fit to distinguish a brahmachari from the Vyabhichari. Although Prithu Maharaj was a householder and father of 5 children, he was still considered to be most controlled, one who begot Krishna-conscious children for the benefit of humanity is actually a brahmachari. One who simple begot children, like cats and dogs, is not a proper father. The word brahmachari also refers to one who acts on the platform of brahmana or devotional service. In the impersonal Brahman conception, there is no activity, yet when one performs activities in connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is to be known as brahmachari. Thus, Prithu Maharaj was an ideal brahmachari and grihastha simultaneously. Vyavan Shana Nuvati Su refer to those devotees who are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Other devotees must follow in their footsteps. Shira Narottama Dasa Thakura said, Yecheba Gushani Yantra Muni Tata Muni Tanra Disha. He is prepared to become the disciple of anyone who follow in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis. Also, like all Vaishnavas, Prithu Maharaj was devoted to cow's protection, spiritual masters, and qualified brahmanes. Prithu Maharaj was also very humble, meek, and gentle. And whenever he performed any philanthropic work or welfare activity for his general public, he would labor exactly as if he were tending to his own personal necessities. In other words, the philanthropic activities were not for the sake of show, but were performed out of personal feeding of commitment. All philanthropic activities should be thou performed. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you
sometimes
very much.
devotee, it may look like he's working in the mode of passion because he's working really, really hard, but it's not the mode of passion if he's doing it all for Krishna. If the results are for Krishna. That's the point. Prabhupada said we should work like we is for ourselves, but it's not. Not that we just say, well, Krishna will do everything and I don't have to work. Very good. Almost finished the chapter. One more verse, huh? Okay, who would like the honor of the last verse? The last verse of the chapter.
Prabhu, you want to read? You are busy. Sarika Prabhu, please, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, I cannot read now, Prabhu. I have gift visitors here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Madam Prabhu, want to read again?
Yes. Okay, I can take it.
Okay.
Text 63.
Yes, Prabhu.
Chavag Gitaya Pumbis, Tralegju Tatra Ha, Pravista Kamara and Jesu, Srinam Rama, Satam Iva. Translation. God, your universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary systems. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and devotees heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. Purport. In this verse, the word Srinam and Rama are significant. It is the practice amongst ladies to hear and enjoy the praises of certain heroes. From this verse, it appears that Prithu Maharaj's reputation was so great that ladies all over the universe would hear of it with great pleasure. At the same time, his glories were heard all over the universe by the devotees, and they were as pleasing as Lord Ramachandra's glories. Lord Ramachandra's kingdom is still existing, and exactly there was a political party in India named Ramarajya Party, which wanted to establish a kingdom resembling the kingdom of Rama. Unfortunately, modern politicians want the kingdom of Rama without Rama himself. Although they have banished the idea of God consciousness, they still expect to establish the kingdom of Rama. Such a proposal is rejected by devotees. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was heard by saintly persons because he exactly represented Ramachandra, the ideal king. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Prithu Maharaj's Meeting with the 4 Kumaras. Hare Krishna.
Hare
It's a very short one.
What was this?
Now, that's the
Right.
end of the chapter. It's a very amazing chapter, worthy of unlimited repetition, but I would like to stop now for today. We have some big adventure, and we'll start the next chapter. And as far as the timing of what you work out, like what's the best time for Saturday? Yeah.
It's okay.
Is this time good for Saturday also?
It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Or the 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, or what's better?
Maharaj, yeah, this time is it contradicts Bhakti Shastri's time. We have Bhakti Shastri in the morning until 9:30. So on Saturdays, it can only be 10, from 10 upwards.
What
Before
time?
10, there is Bhakti Shastri class. So 10 to 12, Ghana time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Kirtan,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prithu Maharaj
Hare
Ki
Krishna.
Jai. Next is people going back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.